Space is wild. Not in a, wow, stars are pretty way, more in a, the universe doesn't care if it makes sense to us way. We tend to imagine planets as to falling into neat categories. Rocky ones, gas giants, ice giants, end of story. But that's mostly because our solar system behaves itself. Once you look beyond it, planet formation gets messy. Some planets end up bigger than Earth, but not quite Neptune-sized. These are usually called super-Earths, which sound exciting, but really just mean more mass and more problems. Stronger gravity, thicker atmosphere, maybe deep oceans, or maybe just a surface that'll crush you instantly. The name doesn't actually tell you much, and there's kind of a theme here. Then there are gas giants that never quite learned personal space. Hot Jupiters orbit so close to their stars that their atmospheres are being cooked off in real time. Winds race around the planets at absurd speeds, temperatures climb to thousands of degrees, and the whole thing feels less like a planet and more like a physics experiment. What's interesting is that we didn't really expect these to exist. Our solar system doesn't have anything like them, so we assumed that others wouldn't either. That assumption didn't last long. Some planets don't stick with the star at all. Rogue planets get kicked out of their system early on and spend the rest of their existence drifting through interstellar space. Cold, dark, quiet interstellar space. People like to point out that life could exist on one of these if it had enough internal heat, which is technically true, but if it does, it's probably not going to have a great time. Now, inevitably, we have to talk about that planet, the carbon planet, the diamond planet, the most overworked idea in space YouTube history. Yes, in carbon-rich systems, planets could form with a very different chemistry than Earth. And yes, extreme pressure can turn carbon into diamond-like structures. But no, this does not mean there's a planet that's just one big gemstone waiting to be mined. This idea gets stretched because it sounds cool, not because it's especially solid. There are, however, planets that are strange without needing hype.
Psych! I switched it!
Water worlds are planets completely covered in oceans. No continents, no shorelines, just water, all the way down. Some of these oceans could be hundreds of kilometers deep, with exotic high-pressure ice forming underneath. Life might exist there, but it wouldn't look much like life on Earth. Without land and weather cycles, evolution would happen very, very differently. At the other extreme, some planets are so close to their star that rock just stops being solid. Lava worlds have molten surfaces, magma oceans, and atmosphere filled with vaporized stone. In some cases, one side of the planet prematurely faces the star, while the other never sees daylight. There are also worlds that are dense in a quieter way. Metal-rich or iron planets may form when lighter materials get stripped away, leaving behind a compact, heavy core. They wouldn't look shiny or futuristic, just dense, magnetic, and very uninterested in visitors. And gas giants don't stop being strange either. Outside of our solar system, you can imagine planets dominated by helium, superheated gas behaving like liquid metal, or ice giants with chemistry we don't see anywhere nearby. The same general idea as Jupiter or Neptune, just a very different execution. Then we drift into the more speculative end of things. Some physicists have wondered whether dark matter could clump into planet-like objects. If that ever happens, we wouldn't see them directly, only through their gravitational effects, similar to black holes. Do they exist? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it stays firmly in the thought experiment category. Beyond that, there are planets shaped by unfamiliar or extreme physics, worlds where gravity, pressure, or chemistry push matter into state we barely understand, consequences of a universe that don't promise simplicity. And finally, the strangest possibility of all, planets that aren't natural. Artificial worlds, hollow planets, ring worlds, megastructures built on a planetary scale. Not because nature formed them, but because something decided to. If we ever find one, it wouldn't be subtle, and it would immediately change how we think about life in the universe. That's really what theoretical planets are about. No guarantees, no clickbait, just exploring the edges of what physics allow. Because if the universe has taught us anything so far, it's whatever we think is normal probably isn't. Being but a boom!